everyone. Happy Jersey Day for our virtual Spirit Week. Are you wearing a jersey today? Maybe the Cubs or the Sox or maybe the Blackhawks or the Bulls. I am not wearing a jersey today. Today I am wearing a shirt that says Be Kind, Autism Awareness, because April 2nd is a special day. It's Autism Awareness Day, and this is a day that we make sure that the people around us know a little bit more about autism, and we're a little bit more accepting of the people in our world that have autism. And if you don't know what that is, it's just a different way of thinking. Some people think differently. We all think differently, right? We all have different likes and different hobbies and different interests. And so people with autism, they also think differently and have different likes and different hobbies and different interests. And that's kind of what makes us unique and interesting. And so today I'm going to read you a story about Dr. Temple Grandin. And this is a true story. Dr. Temple Grandin is a real person, and she's a very, very smart woman. She was not always a doctor. She had to go to school and work very hard, but now she talks to people all over. She even comes to places like libraries and schools close to where we live so that we can hear her and she can teach us some things. So we're going to learn a little bit more about autism. Let me get cozy on my couch so that I can read. And we're going to learn a little bit more about autism so that we can make sure that we are more understanding of the people in our lives, and we can help promote acceptance and awareness to people around us. So here's our story. It's called The Girl Who Thought in Pictures, the story of Dr. Temple Grandin. And here she is. And the words in this book were written by Julia Finley Mosca, and the illustrator is Daniel Riley. So here we go. Now right here, right when I opened the book, there's some pictures of cows, and I wonder why, because I thought this was a book about a girl, Temple, right? So I wonder if we'll find out why it's about cows, why there's cows in here. Here's our title page. And here we go. And I see cows already. If you've ever felt different, if you've ever been low, if you don't quite fit in, there's a name you should know. Temple Grandin's that name. In her tale, you'll find glory. So get ready, get set for this cowgirl's true story. So before she was a doctor, she was a cowgirl, right? But before she was a cowgirl, she was a baby, right? You're not born a cowgirl. In the city of Boston, one hot summer day, so you live in Chicago Ridge, or you might live in Oak Lawn. She lived in Boston. That would be, we might take an airplane to Boston, or we might take the car. It would take a lot of hours. A sweet baby was born. It was Temple. Hooray! Unique from the start, an unusual girl. She loved spinning in circles and watching things twirl. But some things that she hated, like certain loud sounds or bright crowded places, large cities and towns. Frilly dresses with tags made her itch and pull and tug. Something else that she hated, a big squeezy hug. So some things that she liked were what? Spinning, yep, and watching things do what? Twirl, yeah. And what were some things that she didn't like? Right, she did not like to be hugged. And what else? Loud noises. And what about where she went? Did she like it to be crowded? No, she did not like crowded places. Now, some of us might have those same things in common. We might not like loud noises. We may not like scratchy tags in our clothes. I know I don't. We might not like crowded places. I don't like crowded places. So we might have some things in common with Temple. You might not have any of these things that we've talked about so far in common with Temple. That's okay. Remember, these things are what make us unique. A shy loner, this Temple, but when she got mad, when her feelings of stress and frustration got bad, quite a tantrum she'd throw. Kick, holler, scream, bang, shriek. Yet still by age 3, not one word did she speak. So when she got frustrated, she would do what a lot of us might do if we couldn't talk, right? We might stomp our feet and we might scream and we might hit. Because if we don't have the words, how else are we going to let someone know how we're feeling, right? She'll never be normal, was what some did say. Her brain's not quite right. You must send her away. Away? Not my Temple, her mother proclaimed. We will figure this out and you should all be ashamed. So her mother thought, oh my goodness, I can't believe people are saying things like that. Why aren't they accepting my daughter, right? There's no reason not to accept her. She can be our friend just the way that she is. We're friends with everyone, right? If she was in our school, she would be our friend. Then, little by little, though sometimes she balked, that means sometimes she didn't want to do it, and she kind of might have thrown a tantrum or kind of like resisted. Special teachers helped Temple, and one day she talked. And that thing with her brain, it was autism. See? She was different, not less. They all finally agreed. So she is different than some people, but she is no less. Nobody is better than her just because she has autism. Like most kids her age, she loved ice cream and art. That's like a lot of kids, right? Something in common. But the way Temple thought, that's what set her apart. If something was mentioned, for instance, a fly, in her mind, she'd see dozens of photos buzz by. So when Temple heard the word fly, the way that her brain would work was she would see a fly that she saw one time when she was very little buzzing past her face, and she would imagine their eyes with all the little dots inside, and she would remember what it would look like if it landed on a leaf and she saw it from above, and she could picture it on a branch that she saw from the side, and she could picture what its wings looked like. When the time came for school, let's just say that was hard. Kids taunted and chased her all over the yard. They picked on poor Temple. How crazy it drove her. They teased her for saying things over and over and over and over and over. So Temple and sometimes people with autism, they find something that they like to talk about, and they talk about it a lot because that's their interest. And they might not realize that that's not something that everybody wants to hear. And so her classmates were not nice, right? We know better. We know to be kind, right? And we know that we could just say, I don't really want to talk about that right now. Or you can try sharing an interest and we could talk about ice cream. Like we know she likes ice cream, right? We could try talking about that, talking about a shared interest. But her classmates were not nice to her, and we know better than that. Until finally, she snapped. Yes, she did. She lost her cool, threw a book at a kid, and was kicked out of school. No one really got Temple, but well, then again, the truth of it was Temple didn't get them. So they didn't understand her, She didn't understand them. They just weren't understanding each other. You need time away, said her mom. That's what's best. You'll go visit your aunt on a ranch way out west. So she's going to go stay with her aunt on a ranch. I wonder if this is when she's going to become a cowgirl. And guess what? Fitting in on a farm was less stress, since the pigs didn't care if her hair was a mess. Quite a sweet spot she had for the cows in their herds, such big, gentle beasts who knew nothing of words. As she watched her new friends, a thought popped in her head. These cows think like me, in pictures instead. So the animals didn't have to think in words. She didn't have to talk with them. They thought in pictures just like she did. At a new school that fall, Temple found more support and a teacher who taught her, you'll never fall short. When you find what you're good at, like science, you'll soar. And that teacher was right. He had opened a door. So she had a really good teacher who said, you can do anything. You just have to believe that you can do whatever you're good at. Follow what you're interested in. So she built a machine like she'd seen on some farms, an invention that hugged her with boards and not arms. It worked. She had done it from memory. It's true. And just like the cows, it made Temple calm too. So Temple saw these machines on farms like this one, where a cow goes into a cage and the cage squeezes the cow just gently and it calms the cow down. Now Temple knew that she didn't like to be hugged, right? But she did like the feel of that pressure on her. So she thought she could build her own machine, and it's called a squeeze machine. And that's a real thing. You can really buy them. And she liked the feel of it. It helped her feel calm and safe. I'm special, she thought, like a bright shooting star. My attention to details could help me go far. Look at all of her thoughts in these pictures, right? Her brain is just going so fast with all these ideas. Through her studies, she learned there were farms that were not so kind. I will help them, she said. Some solutions she'd find. So she learned that some farms needed to be nicer to their cows, and she would help them build those machines. And then something cool. So she was a baby, then she was a cowgirl, and now, can you guess? Could it be? Off to college she went. A degree. She earned 3. That means she studied 3 different things and got 3 special degrees. She worked so hard. And though ladies weren't experts on farms at that time, do you think that stopped Temple? No way. She did fine. So now ladies are experts at lots of things. But back then, ladies weren't really thought of as being experts at things. So she was ahead of her time. She did a great job. She stepped through that door and went forward, no tears. She took on the world, but at times she had fears. Because some things were scary, like people she'd meet who'd ignore her ideas and, well, they wouldn't be sweet. But she never gave up. Learned her stuff through and through, like why cattle will circle and what makes them moo. To build better farms was her goal. She would do it. Be kind to our creatures. They have feelings. She knew it. So her goal was to make sure that all farms treated animals, especially cows, nicely. And slowly but surely, she changed many minds until farm after farm built her awesome designs. She did it. Word spread about Temple, her feats not so small. Temple Grandin, she's grand. She's the grandest of all. Now, for those things and more. She's won honors and prizes, and a movie was made. But the biggest surprise is that girl with the future that couldn't be bleaker. Now remember, she didn't talk for a long time. Yes, the once silent girl, she is now a big speaker. That means she goes to places and speaks in front of a lot of people. Today, she spreads hope with her stories and speeches. From New York to Sydney to Rome, Temple teaches. Each person is special, so unique are our minds. This world needs your ideas. It takes brains of all kinds. So here is the lesson. Feeling odd or offbeat? Being different might just be what makes you so neat. Don't let doubt hold you back, not for 1 minute more. Stand tall and like Temple, march right through that door. And here's a little note from Temple to you. Dear reader, as a child, I was really glad that my mother always encouraged my ability in art. I encourage you to find something that you're good at and work on developing it. If you're interested in becoming a scientist like me, find cool new ways to look at things, such as microscopes and telescopes. Explore nature. Think up your own hands-on science experiments. Keep learning, especially from your mistakes. Temple Grandin, and here she is. This is a real picture of her. And how cool is that? She was so successful, even though in the beginning when she was young, people really doubted her. So it's important to remember that when we meet people who are different than us, that we might not quite understand, they can do amazing things, and so can you. You can do amazing things. Parents, if you are watching this with your child and you would like to know more about Temple Grandin, she's a wonderful and inspiring resource when it comes to autism. She does do public speaking engagements nearby. With the current situation, obviously she's not, but she has been in Oak Lawn, in Evergreen. So look her up. There are movies, there are books. She's a wonderful, wonderful, inspiring resource. And remember, your diagnosis does not define you. Your child or you can do anything. Have a great day.